another thing you could get through mail order, cocaine. Like
really?
actual just cocaine.
Just straight up coke.
Yeah. Or you could get it in beverages.
Right.
Mail order companies sold cocaine in various forms, including powders and lozenges and wine. White coca wine, to be precise.
Okay.
It was a, quote, instantaneous cure for nervousness, consumption, and weakness. Hey guys, welcome to Overcrest. I'm Kris.
And I'm Jake.
Jake, what internet are you connected to right now? Because you're uploading really slow.
Overcrest.
Are you? Okay. This is Overcrest Drivers Club Day.
The exclusive episode.
The exclusive. I'm going to just start over. No, fuck it. We're not going to start over. I don't care. We don't have to start over.
But hey,
we're speaking to our friends.
Behind the curtain. Sometimes we do.
We do
Sometimes
start over
we do.
every once in a while. So I put together this exclusive episode just for you guys.
Yep.
We love you.
That's
Thank
true.
You. Really appreciate it. I put a bunch of time into this, which was really fun. I don't know how long it's going to be. But it was a lot of fun. And this came up when we did the episode with the
Turboencabulator.
With the Turboencabulator. And you said it was available through mail order.
Yeah, everything was mail order.
And so I was like, okay, what other kind of weird shit has gone on through mail order? And
before you get into it, I think it's really funny. My dad the other day, like we get so many damn packages. Like every day there's packages that arrive.
Anything COD? You don't know what COD is? Cash on delivery? Check on delivery?
No.
You don't know what that is?
Yeah, but I've never. Is that still a thing?
No. Oh, no, it is not still a thing.
No, but the whole thing was my dad was like, this is kind of like, 50, 60 years ago when you lived out in the middle of nowhere and you had your Sears and Roebuck catalog and you would just make your order, for like the next 3 months and you'd wait and then it'd just get delivered. Like instead of going out shopping, going to town, nope, you got your Sears and Roebuck. You'd write your little envelope and put it in, and then a month later or something, it'd show up because it's the same thing.
It's like Amazon Prime after the pandemic, where it used to be fast. Now that's exactly what it seems to be.
Yes.
I actually deleted Amazon off my phone.
Wow,
because I'm just like I looked at how much money I spend. Every month. So I deleted it.
It's serious.
And if I need anything bad enough, I'll go to the store and get it.
And
truly,
and there's some rule like if you think you need something, wait another week, and if you still want it after that week, then it should be like there's a scale, right? So the money involved,
it's called a cooling down period,
right? Yeah. But like the longer,
Jake, are you impulsive?
Not as much as you probably.
Oh, you think so?
I do think so.
Yeah, I'm pretty impulsive.
I know we are, but the cool down period should be proportionate to the amount of money that it costs, right?
Oh, okay.
So like if it's $100,
that doesn't work for cars. Nope, I don't like this plan.
Like be like, all right, we gotta wait a week maybe. Like I don't need that.
All right, this is Chris's top 10. This is mostly a car podcast, but let's talk about it anyway because I promised to throw some car stuff in their ridiculous mail order items list.
Wow,
that's the title for this. And I have to say that narrowing this down was really hard. There are a ton of things that you could get via mail order back in the day.
So what is back in the day? I want to kind of define your list.
This episode, I almost exclusively used ChatGPT. So this was a ChatGPT experiment episode. Okay. And then I would say, give me the source. And then I would go and I would read the actual source.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah. So I'd be like, ChatGPT, tell me about this. And tell me about that. And then I would go and I'd pull the source and I'd go read. Did you have
it like write up the...
No.
Talking points?
That's really bad. It doesn't work. It comes out
but
very,
you read
very
that
poorly.
It's going to be like 500 times more powerful now.
But that's not... One thing it didn't improve on is literary ability. Ability to write and ability. It can't. It sounds awful. It really, truly does. I've used it a couple of times to write captions for social media. And even then, it's not good. It just cannot do it. It doesn't write my style. So no.
Sure.
No. But I did go, hey, so at first I was like, tell me all the things you can get from mail order. And it would give you some. And then you have to use specific words like comprehensive and all-inclusive and tell me everything. Because it really wants to not tell you. It wants to tell you as little as possible. So you have to physically not physically. You have to digitally. Come on, ChatGPT, what's your problem?
But you're talking specifically instruct.
Yeah, you have to.
I mean, it's like Google regular search engine. There's all these like kind
tips
of
and tricks and quotes and minus.
So the
and
quotes
force.
and the minus and the colon for the site and the thing. You have to know all those basically.
Yeah. I just imagine a world where COD still works is what I was thinking about. How different.
How did that work? Because it wasn't the company delivering the item. So
no.
FedEx
Okay. So
would
here's
be
what
like,
happens. The post office dude, the mailman,
mailman.
is responsible for collecting the payment.
Wow.
Okay. So
that puts a lot of onus on the mail person.
Yeah, well, yes, it does. But then the check just gets mailed via the post office to the person that enable the check.
I see what you mean. So
cash on demand personally, and if they don't pay, you don't deliver the product. It just goes back on the truck, and then it gets shipped back.
Right.
And then I'm guessing that the shipper pays both the freight both ways.
Right.
So it's like a risk, right?
Yeah.
That's why a lot of times it was send $1 with your order.
Okay.
So we know you're serious. People aren't just filling out CODs and chucking them in the mail. The last thing that I ever did that was COD was music, CDs. Do you remember that? No, you don't, do you?
I have no idea. No.
Okay, so there was, I can't remember what it was called, but it was like a music club. So you'd get this catalog in the mail and have all the CDs, and you go tick, 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 and you'd order all the CDs, and they would just show up at your house. Okay. And then you could listen to them, and if you liked them, you could keep them. If you didn't, you could send them back.
That's kind of cool.
It's long gone, and then that disappeared completely.
Because
that
no one kept them, probably. They listened to them and sent them
all back. Yeah, well, you get charged.
Okay.
If you didn't send them back in a certain amount of time, or God, I wish I could remember the name. It was like something music club. I know there's people screaming at the radio. I have no idea. All right, so this is there's one genre that I want to talk about that isn't on the list but must be mentioned.
Well, you didn't confine the dates.
Oh, so mail order kind of stopped being a thing in the mid 90s. It's
that late, huh?
Mid 90s, late 90s. The internet killed COD. Before that, it was a thing.
Even if you get catalogs and it would still have the tear out thing in the back.
And even on TV, you could call a 1-800 number. You could order something, and it would say COD or Visa over the phone, and they would just whatever. They would just
COD. Could you actually hand the mailman cash?
Yes, you could actually hand the mailman.
But then instead of mailing the cash to the place, they would just hold the cash and write a check, probably.
Yeah, I would think. Honestly, I'm not sure exactly how it works. I think most people wrote checks.
That just seems so foreign to be able to just hand your mailman cash
or a check or whatever.
Right.
Yeah, well, it's definitely slows the process down. But just imagine, you order something at Amazon Prime, be 2 days later. Imagine being 6 months later. Yeah. This is how long it takes to get things, especially if the catalogs were from Europe or anything like that.
Oh,
man. And this is stuff too where
what do you call it? Pleasure delay?
Big time pleasure delay. Yeah, pleasure delay is amazing. I almost told you a story, but I can't. My wife would be really, really upset. Even with this limited audience of you guys, I don't think she would be thrilled. She's literally saying no right now. But imagine back in the day that you could even go to the general store and almost do a check. You could order stuff at the general store. So those were the two ways you buy stuff.
A
cash on check on delivery, or you could order at the general store.
Okay,
the Sears catalog would be there, and you could order out of it. All right, so we're talking 19th century, so 1800s.
Yeah, I suppose
through even probably into the early 2000s. But I only went to 1995, 1989 and earlier.
Yeah. Okay.
So I had to keep adjusting the parameters with ChatGPT
because you had found something interesting.
Yeah, and I this is the most non sequitur rabbit hole. You'll see. You'll see. This is just
a how many items? 10?
I don't know.
Okay.
I have no idea. It's not even a list. It's not very much.
All right, well, let's go.
There's only a couple car things.
I just wanted to understand.
Yeah. So there's one genre that I want to talk about that isn't on the list, and this is bullshit because the list is just made up shit anyway.
Right. So
snake oil.
Yeah.
And its offspring. In the 1800s, salesmen or proprietors, as they would be often known, would travel around the country selling snake oil as a remedy for everything from headaches to cancer. But that is interesting because snake oil and snake venom does have medicinal properties to this day.
Yeah. Do you know what most of that stuff was? Are you going to get into that?
Go ahead.
It was all either alcohol or liquid cocaine.
Yeah, essentially.
That's all it was.
The products often contained little more than alcohol and other useless ingredients, but they were marketed with such skill and panache. You would have been a great snake oil salesman.
Oh, you think so?
I think so.
Oh, I like it.
The only side effect you could be, look at me. The only side effect is I didn't grow. But hey, guess what? Over time, short people live way longer than tall people. So it benefits. Yeah, so they were marketed with a ton of panache. So much so that nowadays the term snake oil is used to describe any product that is marketed with false claims, such as weight loss supplements or anti-aging creams.
Yeah.
I have to mention one that I remember, and this is maybe the last mail order snake oil thing I can think of. Insight.
Yes.
Yeah.
In the back of car magazines or like
Insight.
Popular Mechanics.
Yeah, big dick pills.
Yep.
All right.
There was also the cologne that you could
the
get.
Pheromones.
Yes, pheromone cologne.
That's still a thing. I tried it.
Did
I was like, hey, Jess, are you horny?
Yeah. No.
I always wanted to try it. I tried. I put it on and I walked by her and be like, hey.
Did it smell like anything?
It smells musky.
Yeah.
And like, yeah. And we have this, guys. This is the Fabergé Turbo, and we're gonna damn it, I'll have to save it. I have a thing I was gonna say, but I have to save it for the episode. All right, so I have the first one that I could find.
Okay.
It's called Radithor.
Oh God, no.
Radithor.
I know this one.
This radioactive health tonic was marketed in the 1920s as a cure for a variety of ailments, including impotence and the common cold. It contained radium, a highly radioactive element, and was sold in small bottles that people were supposed to drink. Unsurprisingly, many people who consumed Radithor suffered from radiation poisoning and died.
Yep.
Have you ever heard of Eben Byers?
No.
He was one of them.
Okay.
In November of 1927, wealthy and prestigious Eben Byers was on the way back home after attending a Yale-Harvard football game.
Okay.
When the train he was riding lurched to a sudden stop.
Oh, no.
According to the Allegheny Cemetery Heritage newspaper.
Uh-oh.
He fell from his berth and injured his arm.
Uh-huh.
Why don't we call anything berths anymore? I was in my berth.
Have you ever been on an overnight train?
No,
I really want to do that.
It's so expensive. I look at the prices. Yeah, oh, dude, it is like if you want to go from here to San Francisco in your own train car, it's like $2,000 a person. It is ridiculous. Yeah,
now, when you say your own car, you mean like a sleeper car?
Room. Yeah, well, you have like 25% of the car.
That seems like a big unit.
Well, yeah, but it's like by the time you're done, it's $4,000 to $5,000. It would have to be a pretty special experience. Although I've heard there's trains where you can kind of get on and off as you please.
Yeah.
Like the transcontinental to, Vancouver or whatever through Canada. You can just get off in these towns and stay and then get back on whenever there's room.
That's really cool.
On. It's really expensive.
I should look into that. I want to look into that because that would be
I think it would be. I think it'd be a lot of fun. I'd like to do it with the kids.
Mm-hmm. So anyways, off his birth.
Yeah, he broke his arm, injured his arm.
Okay.
Enter Harvard dropout William J. Bailey, who had recently introduced Radithor.
Oh, he's the guy.
The guy. Bailey falsely claimed that he was a doctor and even offered physicians a 17% kickback on each bottle of Radithor that they prescribed.
Oh, did you ever watch the movie / false document? Not false, but like it's a series called Dope Sick.
Oh, yes, I have a little bit where they talk about the Oxycontin thing. It was the same type of stuff.
Same thing. Bailey falsely claimed that. I'm sorry. Michael Keaton?
No, this was like a documentary, wasn't it?
No, the one I'm thinking of was like a limited series.
Oh, yeah, I didn't see that one.
Very good.
Over the course of 3 years, Byers, who fell from his berth, took as many as 1,400 doses of the radium water, drinking up to 3 bottles of Radithor per day from 1927 to 1930.
What was the recommended intake? That would be interesting to know, right?
The recommended dosage is an FDA thing that was invented much later. There's
True,
no
but there had to be on
then.
the back of it, like, take as much as ails you.
There wasn't.
Okay.
Eben Byers claimed that Radithor gave him a toned up feeling, though some reports suggest he took it for a more prurient reason.
Meaning what? Sexy time?
Sexy time, yeah. According to the Museum of Radiation and Radioactivity.
Is that how you...
It is like sexy time. Like it's
I know, but I'm just picturing that little head shake you did. That's how you proposition your wife.
Yeah.
Sexy time.
Do you smell my pheromone cologne?
Yes, exactly.
According to the Museum of Radiation and Radioactivity, that's how serious the situation is. Byers had been known as Foxy Grandpa by his classmates at Yale for his ways with the ladies. And the Radithor brought back his famed libido as he approached his late 40s.
So it actually did something, maybe?
I don't know. Who knows? It's all in your head. I think a lot of erectile dysfunctions in your head anyway.
Yeah.
In 1931, after experiencing extreme weight loss and excessive headaches, Eben Byers was in for the surprise of his life when his jaw began disintegrating.
What?
With his bones and tissue falling to pieces from the inside out, Byers looked monstrous. But in some strange act of mercy, the radium poisoning had the positive side effect of him not being able to feel any pain whatsoever.
Oh,
you should look him up.
Hey,
Eben Byers' jaw.
You sent me this horrifying photo.
Yeah, I did.
He just does not have a bottom jaw.
By the time Eben Byers' jaw began to fall off, he started suffering other gruesome side effects. The Federal Trade Commission had begun investigating Radithor as a dangerous drug. Everything, dude. His skin was like falling off. It was awful. The agency asked Byers to testify, but he was too ill. So they sent an attorney.
Yeah, he doesn't have a jaw.
Taking Radithor, look what happened to me.
Oh my God. That's so just horrifying.
The guy that went to interview him from the court because he was too sick to go, later wrote, quote, "A more gruesome experience in a more gorgeous setting would be hard to imagine."
He was rich.
Yeah, rich and handsome. Byers' whole upper jaw, excepting 2 front teeth, and most of his lower jaw had been removed. All the remaining tissue of his body was disintegrating, and holes were actually forming in his skull. On March 31st, 1932, Byers died at the age of 51. Though his cause of death was listed as radium poisoning, his death was actually due to the cancer he developed because of Radithor. There was so much radium in his body that even his breath was radioactive. And he was buried in a lead-lined coffin to prevent radiation from seeping into the surrounding soil.
Yeah, I bet.
You can get this stuff via mail order.
just to reiterate what we're doing here.
Yeah. All right. This next one. All right. So
okay.
Don't take Radithor. It's not good for you.
No.
Dr. Williams' pink pills for pale people. This medicine.
Pink pills for pale people?
This medicine was marketed in the late 1800s as a cure for all the ills that flesh is heir to. It was supposed
pale.
It was supposed to treat everything from anemia to neuralgia to female weakness.
Those damn weak females.
Do you know what female weakness is?
No.
Like what? Time of the month?
Okay.
That's female weakness. Cramps, bleeding, all that stuff was considered female weakness.
Oh, it's specifically.
Then. Specifically.
Okay.
Well,
menstruation cycle.
Yeah, but you wouldn't say menstruation. That's
I know, but we can. We can.
Yes, we can say that. The pills contained powdered licorice, iron oxide, a red pigment, and magnesium carbonate, which was a laxative, and had no actual medicinal value.
Yeah.
These pills
were making you poop, apparently.
Yeah. So there's also Clark's female pills, which were marketed to women as a cure for female weaknesses, such as menstrual cramps and menopausal symptoms. The manufacturer claimed these pills contained purely vegetable ingredients, but in reality, they were laced with opium.
Yeah.
Which made women feel better.
Right. Feels
but
great.
also addicted them to the drug.
Yeah.
In 1848, it was $1 per bottle of 50 pills. Usually the ad said something along the lines of, "By Her Majesty the Queen's permission, Sir James Clark's whatever pills." James Clark at the time was the Queen's physician, and everybody used his likeness and his name to sell their snake oil. And once James Clark died, they just kind of like put that shit on everything.
Wow.
All right. Another thing you could get through mail order, cocaine. Like
really?
Actual just cocaine.
Just straight up coke.
Yeah. Or you could get it in beverages.
Right.
Mail order companies sold cocaine in various forms, including powders and lozenges and wine. White coca wine, to be precise.
Okay.
It was a, quote, instantaneous cure for nervousness, consumption, and weakness. White coca wine tonic.
What, sleepiness?
Yeah, I guess. White coca wine tonic. It stimulates the brain, nerves, and muscles to renewed vigor, while it soothes and allays all nervous irritation and brings quiet and sleep to the weary brain.
How does it bring sleep?
White coca wine is highly recommended by medical professionals used in hospitals all over the world.
I highly doubt that.
$1 per bottle or 6 for $5. Address American Chemical Company, St. Louis, Missouri.
Wow.
So that's what you do. You just send $1 and say,
"Did that one
send
have
me the Coke?"
Actual wine in it?
It did.
Was it did. Okay.
And it was also available from via mail order from Sears Roebuck.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you could go right in the Sears Roebuck catalog and get wine with cocaine in it. So I had to look up.
I mean, that seems like a good time for a lot of people.
It does. Well, doesn't Coca-Cola had cocaine in it at one point too? But you couldn't get that from mail order.
That because there's back and forth misnomer. Yes, it did. No, it didn't.
Maybe that's the thing for another time. Okay. Do you know what consumption is?
consumption.
So it would cure nervousness, consumption.
I do, but I'm trying
weakness.
to remember.
It is a nicer name for tuberculosis.
Oh, right. Yes, not good.
It was called consumption because it literally consumed you.
Yeah.
You became frail, thin, and a human that was wasting away. And at this time, like late 19th century, 1 in 7 people died of this.
Yeah.
In some cities, the incidence of tuberculosis was so high that entire neighborhoods were known as consumption wards.
Dude, why wouldn't you just leave? Just run away.
I don't know. I have no idea. Okay, outside of things you can drink, there's a lot more that didn't make the list, but need to be mentioned.
Okay, let's hear it.
Sea monkeys.
Oh, yeah.
They're little brine shrimp that were marketed as instant pets.
Right.
They were a far cry from the anthropomorphic creatures depicted in the ads. So the ad would be like a little dude with a top hat on, and he'd be like, hey, and he'd be smiling and stuff, but you would get it in the mail, and it was just like this like organism. Like it was nothing.
Well, they're teeny. Yeah, and it was a powder, I believe, that you
teeny.
like put it in.
Yeah.
It wasn't even like they needed to hatch, I think.
Yeah, it was not, but hey, you can get those from mail order. Atomic Energy Lab.
Oh, no.
A children's science kit that included radioactive materials and a Geiger counter. The lab contained a cloud chamber, allowing the viewer to watch alpha particles traveling at 12,000 miles per second with a spinetharioscope.
Wow.
Which is like, it's like this little viewer that you hold up to your
and
eye.
gives you eye cancer.
Yeah, so you basically shoot these things at your eye, and then it reacts inside the thing. It's got a little fluorescent screen and an electric scope, which measures the radioactivity of different substances in the set.
Wow. What was this, like 50s?
Yeah,
like nuclear everything.
Absolutely. Oftentimes, the kits would include glass jars containing natural uranium-bearing ore samples.
Wow.
Yeah.
Did you know that military watches in World War II
tritium?
Yes.
You can still get tritium in things.
You can. But what's really cool is I went down this rabbit hole. We both have Hamilton watches, like just researching what Hamilton was. I didn't know if there was a story there.
Yeah, they're actually a legendary American company.
They are. Yeah. It's really cool. They started out as a railroad timing device company. But anyways, they, of course, also shifted all production and manufacture of watches to wartime production for pilot watches. And they, on their dial, have a little radioactive symbol for when they used tritium. Or no, it's not tritium. It's H3, which is a hydrogen something.
Does it work better than tritium? Because tritium sucks.
Yes, it works much better, but it is radioactive. And so there's a little radioactive symbol on it, and they're worth a lot of money if you get one of those.
That would be right. I like Hamilton watches. They're great. So you could also get counterfeit currency.
Why? Why is that a thing you could sell?
Some mail order companies sold counterfeit currency. And a lot of the time, from what I could see, the bills were really easy to pass off to the average teller at the grocery store or movie theater. It would be. But I thought this would be funny. What if you used counterfeit
money to get more counterfeit
to
money?
Buy the more.
Yeah, of course.
It's like ultra elite. Let's see here. A few more. Explosives.
Oh.
You could mail order
explosives, we know,
including dynamite.
Well, we know you could get fireworks fuel, so why is this any surprise?
That's a good point. Is what could go wrong, and I'll give you a couple of examples.
Yes. Okay, please do.
This
is the number one thing, by the way, when you go to the post office or like
no
FedEx.
Explosives.
The number one, is your thing any of these? Explosives.
Let me tell you why.
Yes, okay? Exactly.
The Black Tom explosion of 1916 is perhaps the most infamous example of the destructive power of easy explosive access.
Okay.
It occurred in Jersey City, New Jersey, when German saboteurs used mail order explosives to destroy a large portion of the city's ammunition supply.
Whoa.
The blast was so powerful that it was felt as far away as Philadelphia and caused damage to the Statue of Liberty's torch arm.
Seriously?
The explosive used in the attack had been purchased by the German agents through the mail order catalogs, which were legal at the time.
Oh, no.
The attack is widely considered to have played a significant role in pushing the United States towards entering World War I.
I bet, yeah.
The dangers of mail order explosives were not limited to acts of war. Go ahead. What do you got?
Well, I'm trying to think.
Does it say fragile on the box?
Yeah, you would hope so.
Nitroglycerin? Because every movie I see, it's like they throw a drop of this stuff.
Yeah.
It's just like...
No, I was going to say, so that was a domestic terrorist attack on U.S. soil.
Yes.
And I thought the only two instances of that ever happening was 9/11 and Pearl Harbor.
I think this is considered an act of war by an actual country.
But it is an attack on U.S. soil.
It is. It is.
Which I didn't think there was many besides those two.
I think that's why it encouraged us to getting into the war.
Yeah, well, it worked.
Yeah, so the dangers of mail order explosives were not limited to acts of war, as demonstrated by the New York Times bombing in 1918. In this case, a package containing a time bomb. I imagine like the alarm clock.
Yeah, it's the red alarm clock with wires.
It probably has like a kitchen egg timer in it or something like that. In this case, a package containing a time bomb was delivered to the Times building, resulting in the death of one person and injuring several others. The bomb had been assembled using parts purchased from a mail-order catalog, underscoring the need for stricter regulations on the sale and transportation of explosives. Attack was a significant turning point in the regulation of mail-order explosives.
Do we know when these regulations?
This is 1917.
So was it shortly after that they regulated explosives in the mail?
Yep, this is it. The law required anyone handling explosives to be licensed by the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms.
The
old ATF, who set strict standards for record keeping. The attack also led to increased scrutiny of potential terrorist threats and set the stage for the modern approach to national security. Okay, if this were a top 10, if we were a car podcast list, that's what that was. Okay. But there wasn't 10 and there isn't 10 more.
Sure.
I have no idea what I'm doing, so here's just some more stuff that I found.
So here's some more. That's was the good stuff.
Yeah, this is
okay.
No, this is also still great. This is
okay.
This is fantastic.
Well, why'd you say that was the top 10 and this is other 10?
Because there's no 10s at all. There's no 10 before. There's no 10 after. That was intermission.
Oh, okay.
All right. So that we have Bernard's dehydrated water.
Excuse me? It's literally an empty jar?
In the 1940s, a company called Bernard Food Industries began producing dehydrated water.
That's nothing. That's literally nothing, Chris.
Which they advertised as a convenient space-saving solution for camping trips and emergencies.
What is this?
The idea was that you could add water to the powder and create fresh water on the spot without having to lug around water.
This makes no sense. Was it supposed to be like a purifying agent or something?
No. The powder itself was made of a combination of cornstarch, baking soda, and citric acid, which created a fizzy reaction mixed with water. The advertising copy for Bernard dehydrated water was intentionally humorous, describing the product as water. Just add water.
How much of this did they sell?
The packaging featured a cartoon character of a thirsty man crawling through the desert with the tagline, "Just add water and it's ready to drink." The product was sold through a mail order catalog and was also available in some retail stores. Although the product was marketed as a novelty, it did have a practical use and was used by the military and other organizations for emergency preparedness. And I couldn't find out why. I saw multiple places say this. It has to be some sort of like...
It has to be a purifying agent. You know what I mean?
That or taste. Because baking soda, citric acid, and cornstarch is not going to clean up any water.
No.
You need like iodine or some other crap.
Yeah, you're right.
The tongue-in-cheek advertisements for Bernard dehydrated water claimed that it was the only perfect product for people who sweat or cry a lot. And it was not only safe to drink.
Is it just electrolytes maybe?
But so pure you can see through it.
Well, yeah, because it's water.
Of course, the joke here was that if there's nothing to see through, since it was just a can of powder. Despite its humorous origins, Bernard dehydrated water was actually hit with outdoor enthusiasts and survivalists.
How?
And the company continued to produce it for decades.
What? Hold on. I got to look this one up.
Okay. Go for it. Look it up.
Bernard's I
have to pull this up.
Water.
All right, I gotta grab. I have to share my screen for this. You know, and I'll save this one for next. Hold on, let me do that. I got it all ready.
You can buy. They like re-licensed it.
Yeah,
so it's like another gag gift that you can buy.
In 1962, Popular Canada's article on Survivor Gear notes that the dehydrated water is ideal for emergency use when water is not available. Except for you need water to use it.
Right, yeah.
Similarly, a 1964 article in Science and Mathematics magazine suggests that dehydrated water might be useful for camping trips. It could reduce the amount of water you would have to carry.
Yeah, I know.
I just do not know. All right, so this is a car one, okay?
Okay.
Have you heard of, and I love the name of this, there's two more, and then we have a finale.
Oh.
Have you heard of the Atomic 8000?
No.
In the 1950s, there was a craze for all things atomic.
Right, yeah.
The idea of harnessing the power of the atom was seen as a symbol of progress and modernity, and it was reflected in the marketing of products ranging from cars to household appliances. And as we know, you could actually, as a kid, play with it.
Right.
The term atomic was often used in a vague and somewhat misleading way, as many of the products advertised had little or nothing to do with atomic energy. However, the use of the word in marketing was incredibly effective, capturing the public's imagination and generating excitement about the future. During this period, a company called Atomic Accessories capitalized on this trend by producing a device called the atomic transmitter.
Okay.
The Atomic 8000. The atomic transmitter claimed to improve a car engine performance by converting air into charged air, which in turn supposedly improved fuel combustion.
Obviously.
The device was installed near the air intake on the engine and contained a small amount of radioactive material, typically polonium-210 or thorium-232.
Keep going.
Okay. Where are you going?
Just keep going.
What are you doing?
Just keep going.
What are you getting? Oh, yes. Yeah, we'll talk about that one after this. Or thorium-232, which emitted alpha particles. These alpha particles were directed towards the air passing through the device, ionizing the air molecules and giving them a net positive charge.
Yeah.
Sounds great.
Yeah.
The charged air was then drawn into the engine where it was mixed with fuel in the carburetor and ignited in the combustion chamber.
Burned more. Made more power.
That's right.
Yeah.
The theory behind the atomic transmitter was that the positively charged air would improve the combustion process,
obviously,
resulting in better fuel economy. There's no scientific evidence to support these claims.
No, obviously not.
As a result, the Atomic Energy Commission eventually restricted the use of radioactive materials of all of this because it's not good for you to be bombarded with plutonium rays, polonium, thorium,
turns out.
Any of these things.
Do you know what else improves the airflow and efficiency of your car, Chris?
I'm ready. Show me.
The Tornado.
Is that what it's not called a tornado,
it's
though?
It's called the Tornado. It's stamped right there, the KI-17 Tornado. This was also marketed as seen on TV, and I think you could get it in catalogs, etc. And you're supposed to just put it in your intake.
Yes.
And it'll swirl.
Do you squeeze that down so it can fit in multiple sizes?
Oh, yes. No, this is one size fits all.
It's universal.
One size fits all, Chris.
Universal.
Yep. And so this will swirl the air, which gives you better combustion, of course, as well. But actually, what is this?
It just makes
That's
it worse.
Just a restriction.
It just gets in the way.
So I have.
All right. Have you ever heard of a Turboencabulator?
I have. Yes.
All right. Let's talk about the turbo.
Do you have the full video?
I do.
Good.
I do have the full video. Let me grab it here. Window. No. Yes, that one. And we want sound this time because last time it didn't do sound.
Aha.
Me turn on. I'm new to this, so bear with me, guys.
Are you?
Well, this I am. Yeah. I just want to make sure. Well, it's going to record. It'll record sound over here, I think. Let me start playing this, and we'll see what happens.
Okay. Oh yeah.
Here at Brockwell's Automotive Operations, research has been proceeding to develop a line of heavy-duty transmissions that establishes new standards for reliability, durability, and quality, with customer needs as our primary focus. Work is proceeding on the crudely conceived idea of an instrument that would not only supply inverse reactive
this thing's amazing.
For use in
high tech
phase detractors, but would also be capable of automatically synchronizing cardinal gram meters. Such an instrument...
Not available via mail order, but I couldn't resist.
This was the idea. 41 monastically spaced grouting brushes were arranged to fade into the rotor slipstream a mixture of high S-value phenyl hydrobenzamine and 5% remunerative tetraiodohexamine. Now, as you may remember from your high school days, both of these liquids have specific peristocities given by the formula.
What's your peristocity, Jake?
2.5 C times 6.7.
Do you know the history of this?
We're going to talk about it a little bit.
Is the diethical evolute of retrograde temperature phase disposition, and C in that formula being Chalmondel's annular grid coefficient. Now, initially, N was measured, and here's where we had a great deal of trouble, with the aid of a metapolar refractive pilfrometer. And of course, for a description
a pilfrometer sounds like a tool for shoplifting.
Us a great deal of work. We referred to Dr. David Blumenstein's book, Zeitschrift für Elektrotechnische Statischer Donnerblitzer. That was Blumenstein's 7th volume, I believe.
The 7th volume!
Yeah. Has been found to equal the transcendental Hopper datascope, and for that our engineers referred to the Peruvian Academy of Scatological Sciences, which I believe was, Yes, it was June 1914, that meeting. Now, I understand that this description may sound a bit complicated to the lay ear, but even experienced electrical engineers will appreciate the difficulty of nubbing together a regurgitative pearl well and a supernative Weynel sprocket. Indeed, this proved to be a stumbling block to further development. We were at our wits' end until in 1984,
yes, finally,
we found that the use of anhydrous nangling pins enabled a cryptonaptic bowling shim to be tankered. The Turboencabulator has now reached a high level of development, and it's being successfully used in the operation of Nofer-Trunnions. Moreover, whenever a fluorescent score motion is required, it may also be employed in conjunction with a drawn reciprocation dingle arm to reduce sinusoidal depleneration. Now, you realize that $59 billion is a great deal of money. But we at Rockwell Automotive believe sincerely our customers are worth it. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're absolutely welcome. All right. So, okay. So this is the Turboencabulator. Now, in 1944, British grad student John Hellens Quick wrote a not yet existent machine in the pages of the Institution of Engineering and Technology Students Quarterly Journal using a ridiculous abundance of technological terms and detail. Engineers the world over embraced the device. An early popular American reference, which is like another magazine, referenced the Bernard Sal. Let me start over here. You guys are Drivers Club, so I'm not even going to try and fix it. An early popular American reference to the Turboencabulator appeared in a new article by New York lawyer Bernard Salwin in April 15th, 1946 issue of Time magazine.
Oh,
part of Salwin's job was to review technical manuscripts. Including an Arthur D. Little industrial bulletin, which had reprinted Quick's piece in their quarterly journal. In response to a letter printed in the May 6th issue of Time from W.E. Habig of Madison, New Jersey, asking, "What is a dingle arm?" the editors described it as an adjunct to the Turboencabulator employed whenever a Berescent motion is required.
Okay.
A month later, a response to the reader mail on this feature appeared in the June 3rd, 1946 issue. If the sackful of mail we have received from you is any indication, the story of the Turboencabulator industry struck many a responsive chord. Aside from those of you who wanted to be reassured that time hadn't been taken in, we received the customary complaints about using too much technical jargon for the layman. Observations such as, quote, "My husband says it sounds like a new motor. I say it sounds like a dictionary that's been struck by lightning." Suggestions that it, quote, "might have come out of the mouth of Danny Kaye, and the planet of queries like, is this good?" wrote one bemused U.S. Navy man. "It's possible." To some, the Turboencabulator sounded as though it was a wonderful machine for changing babies' diapers.
What? Okay.
A reader from Hoboken assumed that it would be on sale for soon in Manhattan department stores. And many of you wrote us to thank us for illuminating them with what you have long wanted to tell all of your scientist friends about. So that is the Rockwell Turboencabulator.
Everyone knew it was a joke.
Sort of.
I'm saying those who published it.
Yeah, so that's like the original. There's a few versions of this. Chrysler did one.
General Electric did one.
But this was off the cuff. This guy did this off the cuff in many ways. So this was actually they were filming. Rockwell was filming like training videos and stuff like that, where they'd be like, dun, 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 the music would come in and be like, "Hi, I'm Bob. Today we're going to be talking about the transmissions you're going to be rebuilding."
Yeah, Bud Haggard, who was an actor who appeared in many different industrial training films. Yes. He was in Detroit. He performed the first film realization of the description and operation of the Turboencabulator using a truncated script. And he convinced director Dave Randott and the film crew to stay after the filming of an actual GMC Trucks project training to film and realize the encabulator spot. Interesting.
Yeah, so I just don't understand how this dude just did this totally deadpan.
It's so good.
Without cracking a smile. All right, guys, that's all the stuff that's not...
Click on in the Riverside chat. I just want you to share something.
Okay, where do I do that?
There's a chat button at the bottom of the Riverside app.
Chat. Tornado Air.
So this stupid thing, you can still buy this today.
All right, let me
for
$90.
$90.
Share screen.
What is it? 89 or 79? Ridiculous. Either way, it's just I can't believe they still make it, and it's made in California, Chris.
It sure is. Okay, so this thing is $89.
Yeah.
Wow, easy install.
This is the most modern snake oil thing I've ever seen.
Locate the air filter box. Loosen the clamp. Open the air intake.
Oh, look at this. Okay.
5 minutes. You can locate it. Loosen. Open. Measure. Install guide. Okay, let's look at install guide. Oh, this is the install guide?
That was
Open, locate, install. That's it.
Yep. That's the install guide.
Wow. Install with care. That's all. Or is there like a parts?
Oh, you can buy.
Oh, look at all the different.
Oh, they have different ones?
Look at this. Wow.
Oh.
This is like some Twilight Zone shit right there.
It improves acceleration, and there's zero maintenance, Chris.
Zero. Why does it look like I'm trying to be hypnotized?
I don't know. I just was absolutely dumbfounded that you can still buy that. So these whole like mail order hoax things, snake oil, they will
always exist because there's always gullible people,
I guess,
that are just wanting to buy shit.
Yeah. Well, that was an awesome list.
There's maladies that are waiting to be cured.
Yeah.
There's medical professionals out there that know that there's problems with people, and they're going to take advantage of them till the end of time. Because
my favorite has to be the pale people's pink pills.
Pale people's pink pills. Yeah. And there was like little like ads with like dudes with like muscles.
Oh yeah.
Like this. Yeah. Like they're like, I've taken the pink pills. This is me before. And it would be like this little weakling guy.
It's like skinny the and meat. Stupid Captain America bit, right?
Oh yeah. Or like the Gold's Gym. Like if you look like this now.
Yep.
You're gonna look like this in about 3 weeks, as long as you come here and have the pink pills, guys. That's it for this exclusive, just for you guys episode.
That's awesome.
I spent like 2 evenings just like diving in, and eventually I forgot about it. But I'm like, you know what? I bet this would be something that the Drivers Club members would like. It's fun, and I figured you would like it.
I love it.
Fingered.
You would like it.
All right, guys. Thanks for supporting us. We really appreciate it. Keep the lights on over here. It's wonderful. Thank you. We'll see you next time.
Take care.